It is December 22nd, 2022, and a massive corner of the internet is on fire. The short-form video app juggernaut TikTok is experiencing one of the greatest moderation meltdowns in internet history. Tens of thousands of explicit, not safe for work videos and images would flood the platform as a series of unfortunate factors would finally come to a head. In the days following, the app was engulfed in porn. It was impossible to use TikTok without being exposed to some sort of freakish content. So how did we get here? How did one of the biggest social media platforms fall to its knees on that fateful December day? Well, to figure that out, we need to go back to 2019. Wuhan, China, December of 2019. A typically very unremarkable Chinese city was soon to be the center of the world. While unknown in its origin, a new virus would originate in the capital of China's Hubei province. This quickly would spread, devastating everywhere it landed. COVID would transform the world in unprecedented ways. Lockdowns would be put into place, keeping people inside and separated for months on end. Schools would shut down, all major businesses would be temporarily closed, any major event that draws crowds would be out of the question, like the 2020 Olympics being postponed to the next year, and the NFL would see its lowest attended Super Bowl in Super Bowl 55 with only 25,000 people in attendance. And when people could connect in real life, they would be forced to stay 6 feet apart. But because of this, the internet would connect the world like we've never seen before. Games like Among Us, Fall Guys, and Animal Crossing New Horizons would bring millions of people together in huge online communities. Streamers would see huge influxes of viewers and chat participation. Hell, the Dream SMP would come out, creating one of the most ravenous fan bases to ever exist on the internet. But the through line connecting all these people and communities was TikTok. Now, TikTok needs no introduction, but for those who don't know, it was an app originally named Musical.ly that focused on short-form dancing videos. The videos would range from 15 seconds to a max of a minute, and this content market was yet to be tapped into, so the app would be insanely successful, bringing in 60 million daily users. This would attract the Chinese company ByteDance. They would purchase the app in November of 2017, officially rebranding Musical.ly to TikTok on August 2nd, 2018. TikTok would shy away from marketing itself as a dancing app. Instead, it would allow for all sorts of content from comedy to education, politics, or story times. TikTok had it all. To complement its new branding, TikTok would introduce the For You page. It's the central part of the app, being a page with an algorithm tailored very specifically to you. While other apps had similar algorithms, none of them did it quite like TikTok. Other apps' algorithms would tailor your content based on your friends list or by selecting a few categories that interest you when you join the app. But TikTok has none of that. You can just open the app and get to it. The algorithm also learns very quickly, since as opposed to an app like YouTube, you go through videos far quicker. So it's able to learn for your habits and adjust to what it's showing you much faster than any other app. And because of this, TikTok got people glued to it very quickly. And now with COVID in full swing, everyone was looking for an outlet for connection, something that would fill the void during these hard times, and TikTok became the perfect channel for many people. With videos being only 15 seconds to a minute long and requiring very minimal effort, it was super easy to pick up your phone and get your videos out there. There was no level of tech savviness needed like other apps. So come 2020, TikTok would surge in popularity. It would go far beyond Musical.ly's 60 million daily users, reaching well over 500 million people daily. The platform gave all the aforementioned major online communities a way to connect. Fandoms like the Dream SMP were huge on TikTok. Gaming content like Among Us was absolutely inescapable. Or maybe you weren't looking for escapism. You'd probably be on TikTok for information relating to the pandemic or the laws the government was putting into place for lockdown. And this hyper-specific algorithm tailored totally to you made people absolutely addicted to the app. But eventually COVID would come and go, and TikTok would remain as a social media giant. But TikTok wouldn't shake up its platform that much, so other apps would try to capitalize on TikTok's success. Instagram had rolled out its Reels competition, and YouTube was adapting with its new Shorts videos. TikTok didn't have a monopoly on the short-form content market anymore. So with TikTok needing to fight for its dominance, ByteDance would do just what their competitors had done and would steal features from other apps. A Stories feature a la Instagram or Snapchat was added early to mid-2020, but this feature wasn't well received except for a small group of people that enjoyed and used it. So TikTok would return to the drawing board and would copy another feature from Instagram: slideshows. Added in October of 2022, slideshows are just as they sound. They're a type of video that lets users swipe through a collection of images, and the people absolutely loved it. It would mainly be used for meme compilations, photo dumps, or infographics, but what matters is that everyone was using slideshows. And with slideshows being a new feature, TikTok would push videos that use them much harder in the algorithm, so they would show up far more often than they were normally supposed to. In the app's current state, it was all peaches and cream over the holiday season. The app was thriving with billions of users, and new features kept most everyone on the app satisfied. So come late December of 2022, a lot of staff would go on break for their regular holiday vacation. And now, all the pieces are in place for the app's collapse. On December 21st, 2022, the eve before the incident, strange videos and slideshows would begin to appear on the app. I was using TikTok during this time, so I'll give you a rundown from my perspective. As I used the app that day, I was scrolling to a slideshow that was nothing but explicit images, but I wasn't particularly bothered. I've seen far worse on the internet, and besides that, videos that break TOS make it through app filters all the time, so I didn't think anything of it. I would scroll for a little while longer, and again would encounter another video filled with not safe for work content, but once again, I thought nothing of it. Since I saw the last video, the algorithm probably assumed that I wanted more content like that, which I didn't. So as the day went on, I'd occasionally encounter more videos like that, and I'd grow slightly more annoyed with each one, but I just assumed that my algorithm was going through some sort of strange hiccup, so I dealt with it for the time being. But I had no idea what lustful hell was awaiting me on the next day. See, it wasn't the only one seeing these explicit videos, lots of users were, and word spread very quickly that TikTok was experiencing some sort of major moderation malfunction. So late into the night of December 21st, the metaphorical dam broke and the app was flooded with porn. Before we go any further, if you could please drop a like and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. I've been working incredibly hard on videos and only a small percent of my viewers are actually subscribed, so please, any amount of support is greatly appreciated. Now let's get back to the December 22nd incident. Come December 22nd, TikTok was borderline unusable. Almost any video you would scroll onto would be explicit in nature. Scrolling on a regular video, boom, porn. Scrolling through a regular slideshow, boom, Rule 34. It did not matter what you were doing. If you were on the app that day, you were seeing something that would make your grandmother flinch. I seriously cannot stress it enough. There was so much porn.
What's going on? There's so much porn!
And it wasn't helped by TikTok news accounts that were reporting the situation, officially dubbing it the December 22nd incident. All this did was further bolster the event's prevalence on the app, drawing more people into the event. So for the entirety of the 22nd, the app was ruled by its freaky ass users. So how could this happen? Let's revisit 3 details that it covered in the app's background. First, TikTok's algorithm is one of the best in driving engagement across all social media platforms. So if you see an explicit video, you might be quite shocked, maybe freezing on the video, processing what you saw, or maybe you'd go to the comments to see what others are saying about this bizarre video. Or you could just be a freak and like and save the video. I don't care for this hypothetical. But regardless, the algorithm would catalog that you interacted with this video and show you more like it, thus snowballing the problem, making it so your feed was filled with more and more similar videos. And even if you didn't interact with the video or you hit the not interested button, you would still see videos due to the sheer amount that were being posted. Secondly was the slideshow feature. It was released quite soon after stories, and development on the feature definitely was not that long. It's just swiping through photos. That's what all social medias have been doing since their inception. I don't think it was much of a challenge for the TikTok devs to make. Hell, I could probably code that in an afternoon. So with this quick turnaround time, slideshows definitely didn't go through rigorous testing, i.e. the moderation on slideshow videos definitely wasn't as good as moderation on regular videos, and this lack of safety on this feature is what enabled users to post explicit images on them. Plus, TikTok pushed slideshows far more heavily during this time, meaning these less moderated videos were showing up far more frequently. Slideshows were also great tools for engagement, tying them back to the algorithm issue. See, one of the types of videos that users would post on the 22nd were super long slideshows with one explicit slide. So the first slide would have some text like, "Don't go to slide 34," over an image of something innocuous like a house. With there being a max of 35 slides per video, you would swipe to the near end of the slideshow and then get flashed. But guess what? You just swiped through 34 images and spent a long time on that video. So TikTok would recommend you another one, once again snowballing the issue. Lastly, the moderators were on holiday. While typically bots handle most of the moderation on social media, reports and things of that nature often have humans involved in the process to ensure that a video's deletion is fair. So when the mod staff went on vacation, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. And you know what happened once it broke. So on the 22nd, all these factors came together to wreak havoc upon the app. But the December 22nd incident doesn't just exist on that day, because the event would live on for days after. So let's talk about the aftermath and legacy of this event. Immediately following the incident on the 23rd, TikTok staff quickly returned to shape and purged the platform. Essentially, every TOS breaking video that was posted on the 21st and 22nd was wiped out, but plenty still slipped through the cracks and were being uploaded. But come the new year, the app was essentially back to normal. Unfortunately for TikTok though, getting back to normal wouldn't be good enough. A large incident like this was the last thing they needed, because the US government had the app in its crosshairs. Over the course of COVID, there was growing concern that TikTok was Chinese spyware and was harvesting the info of Americans. Pre-COVID, the app was banned from all military phones in December of 2019, but the app continued to grow in popularity, so the security concerns still remained. It was also being blamed for major political shifts happening in the youth of the country, especially in the wake of widespread movements against the establishment like the Black Lives Matter movement, and major shifts surrounding a certain controversial geopolitical issue. So, in March of 2023, the TikTok CEO was set to testify in front of the US Congress on issues of user safety and data protection. And with TikTok just having this critical failure, it seems like the US government has a smoking gun. They clearly can't protect their users. Thousands of minors on the platform were most certainly exposed to content they shouldn't be seeing, and I know this is true because I was a minor. And plus, there was significant evidence that TikTok did steal user data and sell it to China. So the US government should have an ironclad case to get the app banned in the country, right? Nope! Instead, Congress spent 5 hours asking bullshit questions about
does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
I could talk for quite a while about how poorly managed this hearing was, but all you need to know is that the US government totally failed to address any real concerns and instead just made a fool of themselves, allowing TikTok to remain until later attempts to ban the app would begin again. But that isn't where the December 22nd incident ends, because every single year the gooners of TikTok come together to attempt a revival. So once a year on the anniversary of the event, the platform is inundated with not safe for work content. This yields somewhat similar results to what happened on the original 22nd, but TikTok has since overhauled their moderation, so a repeat on the scale that happened is basically impossible. But every year, videos do still go through the cracks and land on users' feeds. For example, in December of 2025, a video was being spammed dubbed May the Force Be With You, where a Star Wars fan uses his Force powers to, let's say, help his friend. But the most lasting impact of the incident is that TikTok learned that sex sells. See, while TikTok tightened its grip on explicitly pornographic material, they learned that softcore videos were great for user engagement. So OnlyFans models and scantily clad women are welcome to the platform with open arms. For example, another trend of sorts that was making the rounds in 2025 was people commenting things along the lines of, "Don't search up TV, it traumatized me. Bro, the results on TV are insane." And what would happen when you search TV? Lots and lots of women in bikinis. But this isn't exclusive to just TV. If you look up virtually anything on the app, it's just have naked women. Unless you search up something super niche or hyper specific, you're just gonna be met with OnlyFans models. So what's left to discuss with the December 22nd incident? Well, the event lives on as a bit of an urban legend, and despite the attempts to revive it every year and its impacts on the platform, it's not particularly well remembered. But in a different timeline, there is a world where TikTok dies not too soon after the incident, facing true repercussions at the hands of the United States. But for now, the incident has faded into obscurity as an event only remembered by those who were active on TikTok in December of 2022. So barring any major malfunctions in the future, this event will continue to fade into obscurity. And besides that, there's already plenty of videos on TikTok that are essentially porn to keep the freaks held over until the next catastrophe, so I think we'll be fine. Thank you so much for watching. Good night, goodbye, good morning, wherever you are, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.